I wouldn't even be here today were it not for art and music programs. You know, I dedicated a couple of chapters in my book to talking about how arts programs were there for me. I had opportunities to be shaped and to be molded. You know, it's in the inner city, and that was an unheard of thing for you to go to an inner city school and get coached in creative writing and get coached in live instrumentation. It just was an unheard of thing. And so usually those schools are left to their devices, like, man, basketball, football, track, and, you know, try to do the best you can with your scores. But man, I had some real trill teachers and leaders. I remember, shout out to Mr. Bull, you know, who invested in me, and just individuals who really were passionate about helping me hone my talents and my capabilities. And so it's extremely important. We just live in this culture, specifically like hip hop, and I mean it sincerely, like hip hop, we gotta stop shaming intelligence and shaming being artistic and shaming people for, you know, being socially conscious and socially aware. We got to stop shaming them and making them feel like they're not real hip hop or they're not real men if they not walking around with this tough bravado, like, I got shot 7 times, I did this, I went to jail, whatever, or I'm sipping, I'm smoking, I'm wilding. We're way more than that, and if we limit ourselves to that, that's all we're gonna get. I think it's real important for there to be programs and support and for our own community, for the hip-hop community, to say, man, we can be more, we can do more. When I think about the violence and just the societal ills across America, you know, even in Chicago, it's funny, I was just talking to my man Brian Dye, who's a resident of Chicago, who's really one of the people who's out here fighting against a lot of these societal ills, and we were just talking about the violence specifically in Chicago, and he brought up a good point. He was saying it's a lack of mentorship for a lot of these fatherless, you know, individuals, fatherless men out here, and you can only be what you've seen. You can only become what you've beheld. If you haven't seen a model of what it looks like to be, you know, an upstanding member of your community, then how can you be that? It's this ideal thing that you don't even know what it looks like. And so I do think it takes individuals being committed to entering into those communities to be examples and to flesh out how to really be the men that they were created to be. And it's going to take, you know, all of us working together. It's going to take people who live in the communities, to the doctors, to the lawyers, to the artists, you know, to embrace this and to all do our individual parts. And as an artist, I feel like it's my part to create music that demonstrates what it could look like to be a successful rapper without having to degenerate and demoralize my culture and my society. What does that look like? To talk about real things. You know, everybody's lost somebody. What does it look like to write a song where you honor people that you lost instead of continuing the cycle? And so I think it's a lack of mentorship, it's a lack of being involved, it's a lack of love, it's a lack of fathers, you know what I mean?
Where's today's average, you know, 25 to 40-year-old? Where are they in the mix? Are they thinking that they're individualized to the point where they're trying to impress a younger demographic? Or are they trying to actually aspire to being an old head?
Don't be a coward and say, no, I'm not. I'm different from everybody else. No, you're a role model. You are. And I'm in this game because I feel like we need to demand more accountability from our artists.
Good art should comfort the disturbed and disturb the comfortable. When I thought about like what I want to do in music, is I want to create meaningful conversations, you know, inside of hip hop, because I feel like, again, we live in a very like trivial kind of culture.
We're still making the same music, the same movies. At what point do we wake up? And I'm not sitting here being judgmental, because I'm still trying to wake up.